My friends, tonight I reveal to you a secret hidden in plain sight, a secret spoken by Jesus himself. Three words that, when understood and lived, will open doors no man can shut. These words are not mere phrases. They are the keys to the kingdom, the levers that shift reality. Are you ready? It is done. When Jesus said, "It is done," he was revealing a truth that transcends time and space. This phrase is not a hopeful declaration, but a statement of absolute certainty. It is the key to unlocking doors, the bridge between the unseen and the seen. Jesus understood a fundamental principle. Reality is first created in the mind, in the realm of assumption, before it takes physical form. The moment you declare something is done, you activate an invisible force that begins rearranging circumstances, people, and events to align with that reality. Many live in a state of waiting, hoping that someday their desires will be fulfilled, but waiting only perpetuates more waiting. Jesus did not operate from a mindset of hope. He functioned from a state of knowing. When he healed the sick, he didn't say, "I hope you will be well." He said, "You are healed." He spoke as if the healing had already taken place. This is the essence of faith, the power behind the words, "It is done." When you assume something is already complete, you step into the version of yourself that has already received it. Your mind is the architect of your life. Whatever you hold as true within will shape your external world. If you continue to see yourself as lacking, as waiting, as struggling, then the world will reflect that state. But the moment you shift your assumption and say, "It is done," you close the gap between desire and fulfillment. You no longer seek, you claim. You no longer wish, you possess. This is the secret hidden within the teachings of Jesus. The same principle Neville Goddard taught: assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and it must come to pass. The power of this phrase lies not just in the words, but in the conviction behind them. Anyone can say, "It is done," but few truly believe it. The key is to embody the feeling of already having what you desire. When you say, "It is done," you must feel the relief, the joy, the gratitude that comes with it. You must walk as if the reality you seek has already been accomplished. This is not pretending, it is shifting consciousness to a higher level of awareness, where your desired state is real. Think about a door that appears closed before you. If you stand before it and believe it will never open, then you will remain on the outside. But if you declare it is done and walk forward with certainty, you will find that the door was never truly locked. It only required the right consciousness to pass through. This is why faith is so powerful. Jesus said that if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. Why? Because faith is not about external proof, it is about inner certainty. It is the deep knowing that something is already accomplished even before it becomes visible. To apply this in your life, begin by choosing one area where you desire change. Speak the words, "It is done," but do not merely say them, feel them. Imagine how it would feel if your desire were already a reality. Act as if it is so. Let go of worry, doubt, and hesitation. Align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with a state of having already received. The more you embody this mindset, the more the external world must conform to your inner reality. Jesus never taught struggle. He never taught waiting. He taught certainty, faith, and the power of assumption. When you claim what is yours, the universe responds. "It is done" is not just a phrase, it is a law. Speak it, believe it, and watch as doors swing open before you. When Jesus declared, "I am that," he was revealing one of the most profound and life-altering truths about existence. These words are not simply a phrase, they are the key to creation, the very foundation of how reality is shaped. The words "I am" are the name of God, the infinite power that resides within you. Whatever follows "I am" determines the course of your life, for it is through this declaration that you claim your identity and shape your world. This is not metaphorical, it is literal. The moment you say, "I am wealthy," you are stepping into that reality. The moment you say, "I am successful," you begin to embody that state. Likewise, when you say, I am struggling, I am unlucky, or I am not good enough, you are cementing those conditions into your experience. Jesus did not tell us to beg for what we want. He did not tell us to wish or hope. He told us to declare. He told us to assume the reality we desire as if it were already true. The universe does not respond to empty words. It responds to the deep conviction of your being. If you say, I am wealthy, but deep down you feel poor, the world will reflect that inner state, not the words you speak. The key is to align your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs with the reality you wish to experience. You must not only say, I am that, but you must feel it to be true. The feeling is the secret. This principle is why so many remain stuck in cycles of lack, limitation, and struggle. They continue to affirm the reality they do not want. They say, I am tired, I am struggling, I am unworthy, and wonder why their circumstances never change. They are unknowingly using the creative power of I am against themselves. But the moment you become conscious of this power, you can begin to reshape your life. Every time you say, I am, you are creating. You are giving form to your world. This is why Jesus' statement was so powerful. It was not just a teaching, it was an instruction for how to manifest your desires. To apply this principle in your life, you must first become aware of the words you use. Pay attention to how you speak about yourself and your life. Do you say, I am tired? Or do you say, I am full of energy? Do you say, I am broke? Or do you say, I am financially free? The words you choose are not just descriptions, they are declarations that shape your reality. The moment you begin to consciously affirm what you desire instead of what you fear, you will see a shift. The next step is to embody the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Simply saying, I am successful is not enough if deep down you feel like a failure. You must assume the identity of success, walk as though you are already successful, feel the joy, confidence, and fulfillment that success would bring. This is the secret that Neville Goddard emphasized. Imagination creates reality. If you can imagine it vividly and feel it deeply, it must come to pass. Jesus did not say, one day you will become. He said, I am. This means that whatever you desire, you must claim it as your present reality. There is no separation between you and your desire, only your awareness of it. The moment you declare and assume it, the universe begins to shift. Doors open, opportunities arise, and circumstances align. You are not a victim of the world. You are the creator of it. Say it now. I am that. And watch as your reality transforms. When Jesus said, be not afraid, he was not merely offering comfort. He was revealing a deep spiritual truth that governs our reality. Fear is the great barrier between you and your desires. It is the force that keeps doors shut, that blinds you to opportunities, and that paralyzes you when action is required. The world operates on the principle of belief, and fear is nothing more than belief in what you do not want. The moment you give fear power, you invite the very circumstances you wish to avoid. Jesus understood this, and that is why he commanded, not suggested, be not afraid. Fear distorts perception. It convinces you that lack is real, that struggle is necessary, and that you are separate from your desires. It is an illusion, but one that feels incredibly real because you give it life. Every time you dwell in doubt, every time you hesitate, you are feeding the illusion of fear. The world does not bring fear to you, you bring fear to the world. Your external reality is a reflection of your internal state, and if fear is dominant within you, you will see it mirrored in your experiences. When Jesus walked on water, he did not struggle against the waves. He did not fear sinking because he knew reality conformed to his belief. But the moment Peter allowed fear to creep in, he began to sink. This is a perfect example of how fear operates. It pulls you down the moment you acknowledge it as real. To truly step into your power, you must remove fear from your consciousness. This does not mean ignoring danger or acting recklessly. It means refusing to allow doubt to dictate your life. The moment you declare, "Be not afraid," you take control. You shift from being a victim of circumstance to being a creator of reality. Jesus did not simply teach faith, he embodied it. He showed us that the world is shaped by our inner state, and when you walk with unwavering faith, fear has no place in your mind. But how do you eliminate fear? You do so by assuming the outcome you desire is already yours. Neville Goddard taught that the key to manifestation is living in the end, feeling as though your wish is already fulfilled. Fear only exists when you believe in an uncertain outcome. But when you fully assume that your success, your healing, your breakthrough is inevitable, fear dissolves. You cannot fear what you know is already done. If you knew without a doubt that the door before you was already open, would you hesitate? No, you would walk through it with confidence. The problem is not that doors are closed, but that you believe they are. Change your belief, and the world must conform. The words, "Be not afraid," are not just a command, but an invitation to step into a higher consciousness. Fear belongs to those who believe in limitation, in separation, in struggle. But you are called to something greater. You are called to live as one who already possesses, already achieves, already experiences the fulfillment of their desires. Every great success, every miracle, every breakthrough comes not from effort, but from faith untainted by fear. Right now, think of something you have feared: a challenge, a goal, uncertain future. Instead of worrying, say aloud, "Be not afraid." Feel the power in those words. Feel the truth behind them. There is nothing to fear, for all that you seek is already within you. The moment you release fear, you allow the divine intelligence within to work freely. You no longer block the flow of blessings. You no longer close doors that were meant to be open. Fear is a choice, just as faith is a choice. Choose faith. Choose to believe in the unseen as if it were seen. Choose to trust that everything is already working in your favor. Jesus showed us that faith overcomes all, that belief reshapes reality, and that the words, "Be not afraid," are the gateway to miracles. The moment you let go of fear, you step into your highest self, and the world must respond. Imagination is the creator of reality. This is not a poetic statement or an abstract philosophy. It is an eternal law. Jesus demonstrated this truth throughout his life, and Neville Goddard echoed it in his teachings. Everything that exists in the world first existed in the mind. Every invention, every achievement, every transformation began as an idea, a vision, a belief. Jesus understood that imagination is not something separate from reality. It is reality in its earliest stage. When he performed miracles, he was not changing the world. He was revealing the truth that the world is shaped by what we assume to be true. He saw Lazarus alive before calling him forth. He saw the loaves and fishes multiplied before distributing them. He saw healing before touching the sick. He did not pray as one who hoped. He prayed as one who knew. Your imagination is the most powerful force in your life. Every time you imagine something with feeling, you are creating. The question is not whether you are using your imagination, but whether you are using it consciously. Most people imagine failure, disappointment, and struggle, and then wonder why their lives reflect those things. They replay past hurts, anticipate obstacles, and focus on what they lack. They do not realize that by doing so, they are planting the very seeds that grow into their reality. Jesus said, "As you believe, so shall it be done unto you." This is not a passive statement, it is an active law. If you imagine yourself as unworthy, as unlucky, as limited, the world will mirror that assumption. But the moment you take control of your imagination and use it deliberately, everything changes. The key is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Neville Goddard taught that the secret to creation is living in the end, seeing and feeling yourself as already being, doing, and having what you desire. This is exactly what Jesus did. When he spoke of the kingdom of heaven, he did not describe it as something distant. but as something present, something within. He was teaching us that the world we experience is a projection of our inner state. If you want to change your life, you must first change what you imagine to be true. When you close your eyes and vividly picture yourself living your ideal life, you are planting a seed in the unseen realm. This is not wishful thinking, it is a spiritual law. What you consistently hold in your imagination with belief must harden into fact. Every time you feel gratitude for something before it physically arrives, you accelerate its manifestation. Every time you assume a new identity, the world begins to reshape itself around that assumption. Jesus knew this, and that is why he spoke as if things were already accomplished. He did not say, "One day you will be healed." He said, "You are healed." He did not say, "Perhaps this storm will calm." He commanded, "Peace, be still." He was not describing possibilities, he was shaping reality. To apply this in your own life, begin by seeing yourself as the person you wish to be. Assume that your desires are already fulfilled. Speak as if it is done. Walk as if it is already yours. The moment you do this, you shift into alignment with the reality you seek. You are no longer hoping, you are knowing. The world has no choice but to reflect your assumption. You do not need to struggle. You do not need to force. Simply believe, imagine, and allow reality to rearrange itself. Jesus did not teach limitation. He taught creation. He showed us that through imagination, we can call forth whatever we need. The same power he demonstrated is within you. The question is not whether you have the ability to create, but whether you will use it consciously. Decide now to imagine only the best. Assume only the highest. Walk in faith, knowing that what you see in your mind will soon become what you see with your eyes. Your imagination is God in action. Use it wisely. The power of persistence is the force that turns desire into reality. Jesus demonstrated this truth time and time again, and Neville Goddard taught it as the secret behind every great manifestation. Persistence is not just about effort, it is about unwavering faith. It is the refusal to accept anything other than the fulfillment of what you have imagined. Jesus never doubted, he never wavered. When he spoke with absolute authority, knowing that what he declared must come to pass. He showed us that the key to receiving is to persist in the assumption that what we seek is already ours. Most people fail not because they lack ability, but because they give up too soon. They pray for something. They imagine it. They feel excited for a moment, but then they allow doubt, fear, and external circumstances to shake their belief. They look at their current reality and let it dictate what is possible rather than holding firm to their vision. Jesus taught the opposite. He did not operate based on appearances. He operated based on truth. When he commanded healing, he did not check for immediate results or question whether it had worked. He knew it was already done, and he moved forward as if it were so. This is the power of persistence. Neville Goddard explained that to manifest anything, you must remain faithful to your assumption no matter what. You must persist in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, even when your senses show you the opposite. If you desire financial freedom, you must feel wealthy now, even if your bank account says otherwise. If you desire love, you must feel love now, even if there is no one in sight. The world does not change first, you do. And once you change, the world must follow. Jesus told the parable of the persistent widow who kept demanding justice from an unjust judge. Though the judge initially refused, he eventually granted her request simply because of her persistence. This was not just a story about justice, it was a lesson in how reality responds to unwavering faith. When you refuse to accept failure, when you refuse to doubt, when you refuse to entertain any thought other than the fulfillment of your desire, the universe must yield. This is not wishful thinking, it is a divine law. Persistence does not mean forcing or striving, it means remaining in the state of knowing. It means refusing to be swayed by circumstances. The moment you plant a seed, you do not dig it up every day to check if it is growing. You water it, you trust it, and you wait with absolute faith that it will sprout. The same is true for your desires. Once you have imagined them, once you have claimed them as already done, your only job is to persist in that assumption. Do not let fear uproot what you have planted. Do not let temporary delays convince you that nothing is happening. The unseen world is always moving, always arranging, always aligning itself with your inner state. Jesus demonstrated persistence when he spoke to the fig tree and told it to wither. At first, nothing seemed to happen, but he did not doubt. The next day, the tree was dead. Most people would have looked at the unchanged tree and said, it didn't work. But Jesus knew better. He understood that once a command is given in faith, the process has already begun, even if the physical results are not yet visible. The same applies to everything in life. The moment you declare something is done, it is done. The only thing that can delay it is your wavering belief. Decide now that you will persist, no matter what the world tells you, no matter what your senses show you, no matter how long it seems to take. Hold firm to your vision, assume it, live in it, feel it, know it, and just as Jesus demonstrated, what you have decreed must come to pass. The doors you seek to open will open, not because you force them, but because you refuse to believe they were ever truly closed.